Hello, this is Michael Owens with Here Come the Irish, and you're watching the Two Irish Brothers Show. Go Irish.
How's it going, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together we make up the Two Irish Brothers Show. And didn't I tell you people that Ben would be back, that Ben and I would be reunited eventually? Here he is in the flesh. Ben, how you doing?
Doing good. Actually, I was talking to Sean off camera. Just literally rolled back into town from South Bend, actually. So I'm super stoked, and yeah, I'm doing good.
Ready to get back in the action of doing our thing here, aren't you?
For sure. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been busy. It's hard for us to get our schedules synced because Sean works days, I work nights, and really the only time we ever have to actually film is during the weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then, so it's tough. Once the holidays roll around, I tend to have a little more leeway, and all that. So that's exciting, but, yeah.
Well, the bottom line is we are reunited after a very, very long hiatus, a whole freaking week.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, getting right into things, Ben. Obviously I did the reaction video on Monday when the big news happened with Brian Kelly. So we'll start there. Because you and I didn't really get a chance to talk too much during that time. What were your thoughts when that first happened?
I have always been on the fence with Brian Kelly. I have never been a person that is one of those like fire Brian Kelly people. But I've also not always been the, Brian Kelly's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I kind of take things for what they are. Brian Kelly has made the program relevant again, whether some people want to admit that or not. That's the truth. We've had multiple playoff appearances. We're one of the few teams with multiple playoff appearances. Thank you very much. And that's because of him, Brian Kelly. But on the opposite side of that coin, it infuriates me the way he left. Does it surprise me? No. He left Cincinnati the exact same way. That was one of my big things with him coming to Notre Dame. I'm like, okay, you're bringing that attitude to Notre Dame. That's my thing. So now it's, to me, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Good luck in currently the toughest conference in football. Sorry. Good luck in the toughest division in football, let alone conference. And good luck with that fan base because, Notre Dame fans were something. And I'll say that. But LSU's fan base, they're something too. And, I don't know. I don't know the right word for it. But yeah,
there's a difference.
Good luck with that. I thought it was hilarious and cute that he tried to do a fake Southern accent when he was at their little like hype that he did.
I thought it was during a basketball game. I guess
whatever it was. Yeah, him getting them pumped up or whatever.
My family.
But now it's whatever. I don't care. You're not with us anymore. See ya. Next man up. And we have a new coach. So,
and I said this in the reaction video that you told me that I could go ahead and do. But here's the thing, if he had left, decided to leave after today, then okay, I'm okay with that. Because I'm not degrading a New Year's Six major bowl game, but there's a difference between them and playing for a national championship. It's like if that's quote, if that's all that you're going to play for is just a NY6 bowl game and not a national championship, then okay, go to your new job and get started there. But don't leave your team right in the middle of when you still have a shot at the playoff.
Even in NY6 bowl, I mean, it's been since what, 95?
No,
Is that right?
94, 94,
94, okay.
New Year's Day, 1994.
94 since Notre Dame has won an NY6 or better. And now we're here. I mean, so you knew that Notre Dame was either going to get the playoffs or the NY6.
Yeah.
So to me, it should have happened after the season. And what really aggravated me and what really, really, ruffled my feathers is Brian Kelly basically shot down the rumors. He was like, yep, this is a rumor. I'm not doing this. Not going to happen. Whatever. And then 2, maybe 3 weeks later, he goes to this place that he said that wasn't going to happen. So, and then he says in his press conference, oh, well, it was a job that I couldn't pass up.
Or maybe he means a contract that he couldn't pass up.
So it's like, okay, I've heard this story before from a different team in a different situation, but it still makes me mad. So yeah, no, I'm angry more than anything. Sad is not the word that I would use for me. Angry.
Oh, I wasn't shedding tears. I was pissed when he did that.
So it's interesting, and not trying to look too far ahead, but what craziness would it be, and how amazing would it be if Marcus Freeman gets his first victory as a Notre Dame head coach in an NY6 game?
Oh, that would be a big statement.
I mean, hello. So yeah, no, and you know what? It can be a big neener to Brian Kelly, because Brian Kelly never got it done. Sorry. And that's a fact. That's not me dogging on him. That's fact. So
and I'll tell you one thing, this is kind of off the subject here, but I said this to someone in a comment, and I want to say it on camera, but Brian Kelly may have a bunch of recruiting pipelines open to him, because we've all heard the stories. Oh, Notre Dame and their academics, which I'm sorry is not an excuse. I said that in the rankings video last Tuesday. But it can be easier it can be as easy as possible for him, but that doesn't mean that he's going to win a national championship. It's not a guarantee. I guarantee you go to the top coaches in the game right now, like Nick Saban, Dabo Sweeney, Ryan Day at Ohio State. They'll tell you that, yeah, they may have easier recruiting pipelines, but it's not hard it's not easy to win. Because you could have a team full of 5 stars. You still have to coach them up and build them up. And if you don't do that properly, you're still going to lose. But just covering that with all the people because that's a comment that the last few videos have been getting nonstop, is the academic standards. Well, we get top-notch players too, even with those tough academic standards. So it's really not an excuse, but I digress. I'm going on that too much. Moving forward on to good things.
Yeah.
Just complete positivity here. So Marcus Freeman, the rumors were swirling around him like crazy after that. I mean, Twitter was blowing up. All the social media was blowing up.
I predicted him to be the next head coach. So,
well, in Kelly's comments, that kind of left left it open early in the season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, no, and I'm happy. I really am. I'm happy. He's a player's coach. The players really respond well to him. There were some growing pains with the defense. I mean, we've covered it all year. There were some growing pains with the defense, but that's just a new system being put in place. That's guys trying to figure things out, and learning a new playbook and all that. Clearly, Marcus Freeman knows his stuff. Everywhere he's been, he's improved the team. So I'm excited, and until he proves that he's a bad head coach,
but the bottom line,
hashtag Team Freeman.
Yeah. The Freeman era has begun. I'm happy about it. I know a lot of people out there were expecting or hoping for Luke Fickell of Cincinnati, but I think this, and maybe this is an too early of a projection here, but because we haven't seen Marcus Freeman as the head coach yet. Actually coach a game as the head coach, but you see how he interacts with the players. I mean, you've seen the videos, I'm sure, of his first day and when he was introduced to the team as head coach. It gave me goosebumps, dude. There's just nothing but good vibes around this guy. And look, I get it. Looking way ahead down the future. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but it's like I've said, coaches will come and go.
Yep.
But while Marcus Freeman is here, I'm already getting the feeling of good vibes and positivity and team unity with him.
Well, and I think the big thing with Freeman is he's not far removed from these guys. I mean, he's 35 years old, 1986. I mean, is his birthday.
It's the same age as me.
Yeah, he's just a little bit older than I am. So, I mean, this is a guy that is near the same age as these guys, and this is a guy that he played on a big stage. I mean, he played at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
When Ohio State was good. I mean, not like a down era for Ohio State, when they were competing for national titles. So this is a guy that can say, look, I've been through this. I know what it takes. I know the grind. I know, Brian Kelly couldn't say any of that. And that's something that I will hold against him, and I think these guys will respond maybe even better to Freeman than Kelly because of those reasons.
Well, look at all those guys. Pretty much every single one of those guys let their voices be heard. They petitioned for Marcus Freeman.
Well, there were a lot of former, and when I mean former, I mean guys that have only been away from the school for a few years, because we saw Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah on Twitter, saying, Freeman's the guy. So, I mean, shoot, he was playing last year? So,
yeah.
But it says something about somebody when players, former older and former younger, are saying we need to get this guy. That's a good feeling. And I wonder, and this is kind of an assumption I've made, because I was talking about this today when I was in South Bend. And then also with my, we hung out with some friends last night at Elkhart, and we were talking Notre Dame and Freeman and all that, and I said I almost wonder if Brian Kelly had a timetable of look, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, I'm leaving, I'm done, I'm getting towards the end of my career here. And I wonder if that was one of the selling points for Marcus Freeman, and this just pushed that timetable up. You never know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they were like, look, when Kelly steps down, you're the man. I don't know. It's an assumption, but just with his comments earlier in the season and how quickly they pretty much ushered in Freeman to this position, kind of makes one wonder. And it's not a bad wonder. It's a good wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very possible. I mean, without, obviously nobody's privy to those conversations, but there's no way that athletic directors and university presidents, and I'm talking anywhere here. You obviously know they're having a backup plan put in place. Of course they're having conversations.
There is a lot. I mean, granted, different level, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on like that behind the scenes. When we lost when our athletic director retired at the school that I work at, they pretty much already had the athletic director that they wanted picked out. I mean, way before, it was all said and done. And it ruffled feathers, I mean, and I wasn't happy about it at the time. Now the guy has grown on me, and I like him and all that. There was another guy that I wanted. But clearly they had said, hey man, you're next in line. We want to let you get everything ready, and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of that goes on behind the scenes for sure.
And one of the greatest things too about Marcus Freeman is the rest of the coaching staff was committed to him as well too. Because I know Kelly tried to get a lot of those guys to come with him to Baton Rouge, and just Tommy Reese and Mike Elston is staying. who else was staying? I think pretty much the whole staff did stay.
Yeah.
Unless I missed somebody.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, some of them might be, what's the word? Taken from us, picked off, whatever you want to say, with hirings and firings that are going to happen this offseason, because we're not technically to the offseason yet. Some teams still got to play their bowl games and all that. And these littler teams tend to grab guys like that and give them, a little more money and a little more leeway. They're like, oh, well, we'll let you do exactly what you want as opposed to, whatever. So we could lose a couple guys. You never know. I mean, like you said, coaches come and go. We saw it with, I'm blanking on his name now, Clark Lee. I thought we were going to have him for a while.
Same with Mike Elko.
Elko, I won't go on that tangent. But anyway.
Okay. All right. We'll save that for another video.
Clark Lee, his dream job opened up. And that's understandable. Whatever. These guys come from other places. So, yeah. Exciting times. It's exciting times, and I can't wait to see what Freeman can do. And, like I said, we got the big one coming up.
We'll have our opportunity on New Year's Day to see what he can do. So going right into that. So obviously, as we all know by now, the playoffs did not happen for us. We didn't need everything that we needed to happen yesterday. And I already covered that in the quick little video that I made for our channel last night. And man, I was expecting the dagger for that to be in the Big 12 championship, not the SEC championship, but I'm not going to rehash all those games. I mean, I'm sure you were able to watch them a little bit.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, real quick, I'll say I did not expect what happened in the SEC championship to happen.
That is, yep. I mean, and we were talking about it last night around the dinner table, and that is typical Nick Saban and his coaching staff getting their boys ready to play. That is why he has the national titles he has. And they were a different team, man. Like, they struggled this year. They had some really close games against teams that they maybe shouldn't have been close to. And I think everybody, even a lot of their fans, thought that Georgia was just going to steamroll them. And they played some good ball. So
yeah, you got to tip your hat to Alabama, which I do for that. Alabama played a great game yesterday.
Yeah, they really ready. They really hit Georgia in the mouth.
And the thing is, you and I have some Alabama and Georgia viewers that do watch the show here, and we just want to let you guys know that we're not bad mouthing either team. We're just talking about Notre Dame's situation and what they needed to happen.
Yeah.
And so when I said that Georgia let us down, I'm talking about strictly for our playoff chances, because I wanted to see us make the playoffs. Damn it!
Yeah, we needed. I mean, it was for most people. I think it was more of a possibility that Georgia would beat Alabama than Iowa would beat Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, even odds makers agreed with us on that one, in Vegas. So,
well, anyway, as it stands, and if you had another thought, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off if I did.
Nope. No.
Okay. Well, anyway, but as it stands right now, we don't have anything to scoff at. It came out today that we are going to the Fiesta Bowl, as I predicted. I was wrong on the opponent because I really thought it was going to be us against Michigan State. I would have loved to have seen that matchup, but instead, the committee pits us up against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and what a thriller that game was yesterday.
Yes.
On the Big 12 championship. So New Year's Day, we're going to go up against the Oklahoma State Cowboys in the Fiesta Bowl, and that's going to be one heck of a matchup. And not trying to get cocky here, but hope Oklahoma State knows what they're in for, because, like I said earlier, Marcus Freeman and everything that's happened this week, and the unity that he's generated, keeping pretty much everybody together, could be a long day for them. And I don't think they have any clue what they're going to be in for that day when they face the Irish.
Yeah, this will be, not trying to take anything away from our preview that we're going to do, this will be the best defense that they've seen all year.
That's a fact. That's just a fact.
That's the teams that were non-conference teams this year for them: Boise State, Tulsa, Missouri State. Nothing. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I guess we
if you
got.
play like Georgia or Alabama or something, I'd give it to you. You know, maybe they'd have a better defense. You know, but
Well, I guess we got to give we got to give Baylor some credit because they forced 4 turnovers against the Cowboys and
yeah,
held them to 16 points.
yeah.
So I guess Baylor does have a pretty good argument for the best defense they played all season. But still, though, I think our defense is better than Baylor's.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So yeah, it'll be and with your prediction, as you said, you picked Michigan State to play Notre Dame. I'm happy with Oklahoma State instead of Michigan State only because we've seen Michigan State and Notre Dame a ton. I like seeing teams, Notre Dame playing teams that we don't get to see every year.
Yeah, and we've never played Oklahoma
Southern
State before.
Cal and Michigan State and Michigan and Purdue, Northwestern, all those guys, Georgia Tech. I like seeing a team like Oklahoma State or who was the one we played a few years ago? Iowa State was one that we played a few years ago. Arizona State, we played them twice.
Also like Oklahoma State, this is going to be a first-time meeting between the two schools.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's a first time meeting on the big stage. And yes, I mean, there's a lot of people that like to discredit the other 4 New Year's 6 bowls outside of the playoffs. Those are still big stage games for guys to flash their skills on. And it is an important championship for the university.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to scoff at here. This is still a big stage for teams to play on. Because look, 130 teams at the FBS level, only 4 of them can go. So you take the next best thing. But of course, obviously you shoot to play in the playoffs. That's a given.
Yep.
But if you can't get there, then you take what the next best thing. And also, but going back to your point, Ben, is speaking of first time stuff, I wouldn't have complained if we got the Peach Bowl against Pitt, but it kind of because one, that's a bowl we've never played in as far as major bowl games are concerned. Never played in that one. I mean, we played in a number of Cotton Bowls, a number of Fiesta Bowls, couple Sugars, couple Oranges, even a couple Rose Bowls. But we've never once played in the Peach Bowl, so that would have been cool just for that part alone. But yeah, it would have been against a Pitt, which Pitt we played a lot of times.
Right.
So, but no, as it stands right now, it's the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma State, and it's going to be a fun matchup come New Year's Day, and I feel pretty good about it. Playing against a team from the Big 12 that has been pretty established. I mean, Mike Gundy, he's been there for 17 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Long time. Well, and you can even go longer than that because he went to school there.
Well, okay. Since I gotta be very specific, coaching there. Okay.
Well, yeah, no,
you happy now?
He's been at Oklahoma State for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I said in the video. I can't remember if it was the rankings video last Tuesday or one. No, I think it was that video. I think it was, maybe it was the one that where Kelly left on it. No, I think it was the video after Kelly left. But yeah, there's not many guys that you're going to see stay at a school that long.
Yeah,
I mean, them being there 20 plus years, and someone did point out to me in that video that Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa for
he's been there over 20 years.
Time. But with the few exceptions like him, Mike Gundy, and even I think David Cutcliffe, he was at Duke for 14 or 15 years. You're really not going to see a whole lot of that anymore because it's these coaching contracts at college are basically like maybe 2 contracts, say in Major League Baseball or the NFL, whatever. That's what they're equivalent to now. But you're not. But the days of Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno, those are definitely over with.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be an interesting matchup going up against Mike Gundy and that team that does have a high powered offense. I mean, I know there's been some people that are dogging it already because some Notre Dame fans they're never happy about anything. But I think it's going to be a good game for us. It's going to be a good test for Marcus Freeman as in his first game as head coach.
Yeah, it's going to be something to behold. That is for sure. And he's got some crazy storylines lining up for him and historic.
Oh yeah.
I don't think many coaches can say, in my debut in an NY6 bowl game, I got it done, So yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. Like you said, some people scoff at these NY6 games. The worst record team in an NY6 game is Utah with a 10-3 record and a Pac-12 championship as their, thing coming in. Everybody else has 2 or 1 losses. In the NY6. That is nothing to scoff at. Nothing. So, people that are scoffing at that, and I'm not going to cry over spilled milk with Notre Dame missing the playoffs. I mean, if we had beaten Cincinnati, we'd be in the playoffs. They made their bed in that. And when you start relying on teams to take care of your business, it's not a good combination.
Yes, absolutely right. And that's the thing. This kind of goes back to the people who always talk about, oh, we should join a conference. We should join a conference. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're in a conference or an independent. You have to win. You have to win, regardless of the situation. So your destiny is in control of your own hands from the first day of the season. So yeah, that takes away that argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ben, I think we reached the point of the video. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
Nope. Just super excited. I'm stoked. It's time to go bowling. It's time to finish this season strong with this, Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma State. And it's time to usher in a new era. And I'm excited.
And let's break this nasty losing streak in major bowl games.
Yep.
It's got to end. Haven't won one since the 94 Cotton Bowl. So let's get it done, boys. Let's get it done. So just to give everyone a quick update before we sign off here, Ben and I will be looking to do a bowl pick'em type video sometime this weekend. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. And so it should be a lot of fun. And then during the week of the bowl game, when we do our preview for it, we will have a special guest on. So
hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. Can't guarantee it, but hopefully. So yeah, a lot of stuff to look forward to out of our show here. And as always, hit that subscribe button, people.
Yep.
Help us build this channel up.
Yep.
So on that note, I'm ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as we always say, God bless, good night, and go Irish.
Go Irish.